Hello, welcome to From the Shed End. Welcome back. Welcome back, Club World Champions. Sounds good. Club World Cup champions. Um, as always, make sure you subscribe. Make sure if you're part of the live stream, you get involved. I can't believe it. Club World Cup champions. Club World Cup champions. We did it, man. We did it. It feels amazing to say that we're the Club World Cup champions for 4 years. 4 whole years we're Club World Cup champions. So as always, make sure you subscribe, like, smash the like button, get involved. If you haven't already as well, make sure you go to our mini documentary series. It's in a playlist on our YouTube channel. So make sure you go over there. We're on day 15. Is it day 15? Day 15. We're on day 15 of the mini documentary series. So that's us going through, looking at some of the previous Chelsea players that have played for the club, been involved at the club. Some old, some new, some recent, some of the past times, but make sure whatever you do, you you go and listen, just go and watch the documentaries. We've pulled them together. They're maybe 5 8 minutes long for each documentary. So make sure you go over there and you just give those a watch. Make sure you run the numbers up on those. But we've got a lot of things to cover on this live stream. We've got to talk obviously Club World Cup. We're gonna talk Nicholas Jackson. We're going to talk Nicholas Jackson because it looks like he might be on the way out. So we're going to talk Nicholas Jackson. We know now that particular goalkeeper is moving to Strasbourg. We know that's happening. We know that Petrovic is going to Bournemouth. We've got to talk about Maresca. We've got to talk about Noni Madueke. We've got to talk about all those things in the next hour or so. So if you're a part of the live stream, make sure you get involved. Don't forget to smash the like button, all of that good stuff. But let's start with the news first of all. Let's start with some of the latest news. I feel like I'm kind of out of sorts with the Chelsea news. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I'm out of sorts. This is the first bit of news. Mike Penders. An agreement is now in place for Mike Penders to join RC Strasbourg on loan, which I think is what we all knew was going to happen. We knew that was coming. Here we go. No, here we go. I didn't mean to say here we go. It's probably the worst thing you can say when you're scrolling Fabrizio's Twitter page, but I meant like, here we go. Here's the tweet. Mike Penders deal done and set to be sealed as Chelsea goalkeeper will join Strasbourg on loan. Agreement in place for next season while Chelsea see Penders as a top talent for the future. Boy, man, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this one because I feel with Chelsea, I don't even want to start this stream with with negative vibes already, but it feels like when we've got a good thing, sometimes we don't know what to do with it. Thinking back, even going back to the Kevin De Bruyne, Mo Salah, I'm thinking about Tomori when we needed a centre back. Just sometimes think we don't know what to do. And I don't want Mike Penders to get lost in the loan system. That's my worry. If we allow him to keep going out on loan, which we tend to do a lot with our goalkeepers, it's not like with the outfield players, you can play 2 centre backs or you can play 2 midfield or you can play 2 up front, 1 on each wing. You know, you can have options as fullbacks. Your goalkeeper is your goalkeeper, unless there's maybe if you're Liverpool, you can have 2 world-class goalkeepers. But at Chelsea, not even having 1 world-class goalkeeper. And I wanna praise Sanchez in a minute for the Club World Cup because I think he done amazing. Not just in the final, because he was probably arguably his best Chelsea match in the Club World Cup final. But I want to talk about when you've got a talent, according to many sources and scouts and people that have watched Mike Penders, they tell us that he's really good. Now, he's still young. I think he's only, 19, nearly 20. He's still young, but I think losing him, if we lose Mike Penders and he goes on to be one of the world's best goalkeepers, can we really afford to let that happen, knowing that we've got Sanchez, who Arguably was our best player or one of the best players on Sunday. But can we afford to let this player go? I don't think we can. I don't think we can. We've just let Petrovic go to Bournemouth, 25 million. So next season, and it doesn't look like we're going back in for Mike Maignan either. It looks like the AC Milan deal is off the table. So that means next season we're going into the season with Sanchez, Felipe Jurgensen, and who else are we going in with now? Is it? It's not just those two. Someone else. I can't remember who it is, but we're going in with three goalkeepers. This one worries me. This one worries me. This one worries me. Letting him go out on loan. One, it allows other clubs. We got to see it with Santos. Clubs are sort of sniffing around him a little bit. But with Mike Penders, I think with goalkeepers, they're hard to come by. They are absolutely hard to come by. And if you get one, keep him. If he's that good, why are we loaning him out? That's my first question. I'm glad it's a loan. I'm glad it's not another sale. But that one worries me. I'll be honest. I think with Mike Penders, he shouldn't even be anywhere near another club. If he's that good, we should keep him at the club. Let's be honest. He should be at the club. He should be at the club. I don't understand why we're allowing him to go, to be honest. I think he should stay. Slanina. Thanks to Theo who's joined the live stream. Slanina. Again, we don't know about Slanina. Is he good enough? I don't think he is. I don't think Slanina's going to be good enough. We spoke about it on the pod. I just don't know why, especially with the amount of football we know we're playing this season. Mike Penders would be brilliant in the in the Carabao Cup, maybe some FA Cup early rounds, maybe some Champions League games. You never know if who we come up against. For me would be the level to test a goalkeeper like Mike Penders. It might work out. I might just be sitting here moaning at 11:15 about a goalkeeper that actually needs the time away from the club and to progress, mature a little bit, develop his football, develop his goalkeeping, and then come back to the club a bit more older. I just worry with goalkeepers. There isn't many around, and as soon as you get a good one, top clubs will come in. And I'm not saying we're not a top club. We're champions of the world, but I'm talking the creme de la creme. The teams that if they get a sniff at a good goalkeeper, they're gonna definitely want to try and take something else away from us. Um, I'm just thinking this. We loaned Courtois to Atletico for 3 consecutive seasons. Even if we loan Penders a game beyond his Strasbourg loan, we need to retain him. Can't afford to lose him or see him get lost in our loan army. This is my worry. This is my worry. If it was an outfield player, I wouldn't be that concerned because I feel you benefit more. So yeah, I mean, look, obviously the Petrovic loan deal worked for Strasbourg last season, and my worry with that is look what's happened to Petrovic. He hasn't even given an opportunity at the club. It's almost like the club are willing to use the Strasbourg connection, the feeder club that they've got there, the setup, to almost keep or improve the value of some of our players. And if the right offer comes in, they're not looking to decline it. They're looking to accept it. And that's the worry for me. We've seen it with Petrovic, who we all on this, me and Theo have both said that he's a really top goalkeeper. He was one of the best goalkeepers in the French league last season. He's if not the best goalkeeper. And now he's moved on. So I just that worries me. That one does worry me a little bit. I'll be honest. I think if we lose, well, my worry is that we'll end up with goalkeepers that may not be good enough to contain themselves in the Champions League next season or this season. This one's been picked up by Ben Jacobs earlier on today. As I said before, if you're joining the live stream, make sure you like the video. Give us your thoughts. I don't think. Well, I'm going to ask whoever's on this live stream. Do you think we need another centre back? Do we need another centre back? Because I'll be honest, if we're buying another defender to get rid of Trevor Chalobah, And I did say I'm going to start. There will be some positivity in this live stream at some point. We're not there yet. We're at the negative stage because if we sell Trevor Chalobah, who again, colossus at the back, man in the match, worthy performance in the Club World Cup, never puts a foot wrong, never complains. Told last season you can't go on the preseason tour. You're not allowed to. You're not training with us. You then get shipped out to Crystal Palace because we mess up in the transfer window. We then recall Trevor Chalobah, who then puts in 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 performances, who then helps us win the Club World Cup to sell him to bring another defender in. Yeah. Do I need to say any more? Do I need to say any more on that one? I don't think we need another centre back. I don't think we need another centre back at all. Yeah, if Chelsea leaves, yes. Oh, sorry, Chalobah leaves, yes. Murillo liking a lot of Chelsea content on Instagram. I do like Murillo, but I've just said all that about Trevor Chalobah, but I do like Murillo. But at the same time, this is Trev, man. This is big Trev, and he's come in when it needs to. When he's stepped into that team, he's never put a foot wrong. He's never put a foot wrong. He's always been there. He's delivered. He's helped us win trophies. You can see what it means for him to play for this football club. Now, Murillo's a good shout. I do like Murillo. I think he's probably arguably been one of the best centre backs, um, not just for Forest, but in the Premier League over the past 2 seasons. But it's Trev. It's Trevor Chalobah. It's worrying because Benoit Badiashile came out after the Club World Cup final and almost said that, he's in Maresca's plans. It sounds like he's either had a conversation with Maresca or he's just putting out a bit of hot air into the atmosphere. But Benoit Badiashile believes he's staying at the football club. Now, I would personally think before Trevor Chalobah leaves, Badiashile and Axel Dezazi will be leaving the club before Trevor Chalobah or any other centre backs come in. We also have to remember we still have Wesley Fofana and we have Ange Slimino at the football club still. I don't think we need another centre back. I think for me, the two top centre backs we have at this football club, or three, let's throw Trevor in there as well. Tosin has actually improved very, very much in the last 6 months. And I don't mean just in terms of his footballing ability. I mean, the things that he's doing, you can clearly see that he's doing off the field. He is the father figure of that young team. Tosin has taken that role on and he's ran with it and he's doing well. And shall I say this? But if Reece James can't keep himself fit next season, and it won't happen because you've got Enzo, you've got Caicedo that will take the captain's armband before him. But Tosin seriously has to be considered now as one of the main leaders of our team because I'm looking at I was looking at the Club World Cup after the full time whistle, and you're seeing all the melee with the players and all the rest of it. And I looked, and there was one player in the middle of all of it, and not because he was being violent or was being aggressive, but he was standing up for his teammates, and that was Tosin. Tosin was in the thick of it, the mix of it. He was trying to calm things down, but also making sure he defends his players and his manager and the coaching staff and everyone. But even after all that happened, there was so much things he was doing in the dressing room. He was talking to certain players. He was looking after Cole Palmer. It seems like he's taken the role of being Cole Palmer's mentor in the team. So I think for me, exactly, Uncle Tosin, he literally is. He's the one that is is literally carrying this team. He's carrying the team defensively. I think if I had to pick my main core centre backs, I'm talking about Tosin, Levi Colwell, Trevor Chalobah has to be in there, and obviously Wesley Fofana. We then have Ange Lamino, who can play a centre back role. Um, I think Asugo played there in the Club World Cup as well, if I'm not mistaken. So there's six centre backs already. It isn't a primary place for us to be considering any sort of. It's not where I think we need to put ourselves. If I'm being honest, I think another centre back just adds to the chaos and the madness that's going on at the club sometimes. So I think we need to offload players. I think we need to offload players. Um, there's been a lot of Chelsea news, obviously, over the last 24, 48 hours because of the Club World Cup final win. This one's interesting. Enzo Maresca will not be under immediate pressure to deliver the Premier League title, and there is said to be recognition that Chelsea still have work to do to catch and overtake champions Liverpool, Man City. I'm not saying that third team. I'm not saying that third team. That's just taking the piss a bit, isn't it? Arsenal, they haven't done anything. Um, I don't think for me, Enzo Maresca. Let's start blending into the Club World Cup. Enzo Maresca has shown that he has actually got the mentality to lead this squad into the Champions League next season. He really has. Because people will say we played certain teams that were probably of less ability than us in the Club World Cup. Some will say we had an easy route. Some dubbed it a preseason friendly tournament. But we still came up against some of the very best teams across the world. Whether people want to say that they're not, well, that's probably because you don't watch South American football or you don't watch European football. You don't watch the Spanish league in and out every day. You don't watch Portuguese league. But we still had to play these teams. We still played the champions of Europe. People were saying that there's fatigue and all the rest of it. We've played just as many games as them. Maybe they weren't at the same level in terms of ability, but we still played the same number of games. If anything, we didn't rotate our squad as much as many others did. There's so many factors to it, and I just think had we lost this Club World Cup final, and the champions of Europe won it, I don't think anyone would be talking about a glorified tournament or a glorified preseason friendly tournament. They'd actually be praising PSG for smashing Real Madrid and then potentially smashing Chelsea in the final. So I don't think Enzo Maresca should be under any pressure. I think he achieved his objectives last season, Conference League, well, a trophy and top four finish. He's done that. He's actually brought stability when you think about how our defensive line is now. Yes, there's still mistakes in there. Yes, the goalkeeper's not been great for the start of the season, but he's grew into the season in terms of Robert Sanchez, and Jurgensen will throw him in there as well. He's actually he dealt with a lot of things probably internally. Cole Palmer spoke out about his off-field issues that he's had. Marco Guerrero's had numerous off-field issues, and he still managed the team very well. He's working still with a relatively inflated squad in terms of the numbers. He's had to deal with a striker that isn't really striking the ball in the back of the net, and a striker that loves to collect silly red cards. He's probably having to deal with a lot of stuff upstairs above him in terms of sporting directors, technical directors, and owners. And he still achieved the objectives of winning the trophy, getting top four, then going into a Club World Cup, a new experience for him in terms of the manager, in terms of some of the all of the players, bar Reece James, I think, and obviously Trevor as well. But you, this for me, this isn't the time to be sort of adding pressure while subtly saying that he's not under pressure. By saying he's not under pressure, he's actually putting him under significant amount of pressure without realizing it. So I don't know. Without reading the article, I mean, I'm gonna just click on this one here because it's saying here that the expectation within Chelsea for next season will start what doesn't make any sense. Next season, we'll starting with finishing in the top four again and consolidating Champions League qualification while demonstrating progress. That's a given. I mean, I agree with that. I think top four should be top four should be the aim. I think anything above top four next season is ambitious. The reason I say that is because I look at Liverpool, I look at City, I look at potentially that team from North London, and I don't talk about North London being Tottenham. It's going to be quite difficult next season. And I think there'll be other teams in the mix that we don't really necessarily think of in terms of Forest. They were there or thereabouts very much most of the season last time out. But I think that should be the objectives. And I want to throw in a domestic cup. I want an FA Cup. or a League Cup to go with that. I think Champions League, obviously, you get your top four finish and FA Cup, League Cup. If we win the Premier League, of course, that's a bonus. But I don't think there can be any just because we've won the Club World Cup, it doesn't for me change the landscape of what next season has to be. Next season is still about building those steps to get to the Premier League. I don't think you can sidestep or you can miss out, a couple of steps to get to the Premier League. I think you still have to go through that process of getting there. So I don't think he's under any pressure. I think he'll be. I think the only thing that will worry me with Maresca is how does he keep certain players happy in that team. Um, I think of the likes of maybe Nicholas Jackson, if we keep Christopher and Kunku, if we don't sell certain players, which I mean they're still there at the club. I'm talking about Raheem Sterling, talking about Ben Chilwell, who clearly aren't in the manager's plans. What happens then? Do they start becoming an issue at the club? Do we find another loan deal for them? So if he can maintain the balance of this squad and he can make sure that he still keeps momentum. I think the key thing, it's unfortunate in a way because the key thing really for us this season now would be actually not to have a break. And off the back of this Club World Cup, to go straight into a small preseason and then into the season. But of course, the players need a well deserved 3 week minimum break. Um, you don't want anyone to sort of come back off that, pick up an early injury, and so on and so on. So I think for me, as long as he can keep as much of the squad that he needs fit, the likes of Reece James, we need to see Wesley Fofana back in his squad. It'd be interesting about João Pedro as well. What happens with him? Does he become the regular? Um, it is going to be interesting. It is. It is going to be interesting. This one threw me a little bit earlier. I'll be honest. Chelsea are said to be in talks with 7 to 10 big global companies over a long term front of shirt sponsor, which could be worth £60 million a year. I've got to be honest. These owners, as much as I banged on for months and months, and I still think this is the case. So I'm not changing my tune at all. But they banged on. They mentioned so much about money, money, money. It's all about the money, money. It is, but things like this is now going to help Chelsea. The fact that we've gained nearly £180 million from the Club World Cup, if we can get a £60 million year deal for a front of shirt sponsor, which is probably why the shirt sponsor wasn't even on there, why we didn't do the deal straight away. Because if we got to the Club World Cup and win it, those numbers, you can now triple those numbers. You can now double those numbers for the sponsorship. So you have to give them the credit, the owners and whoever's doing all these sort of wheeling and dealing, like Ronnie Wheeler behind the back, but behind the scenes. But £60 million a year deal is brilliant, man. That's a good one. If we can get that done, and to add to that, this is what I read earlier. Chelsea's players are in line to earn bonuses in the region of 350,000 a man for lifting the Club World Cup. No wonder some of them that weren't even playing were celebrating like they scored the winner. I'm not surprised. I mean, that's obscene amount of money to be. But credit to them; they all deserve it. Each and every, even the players that maybe kicked the ball for 20 minutes came on. Keenan Dewsbury Hall had a couple of minutes here and there throughout the tournament. Yeah, you got to credit them because some of their mates, some of their other players, some of the players they checked out in June. They were done. We're in what's the date today? It's the 15th of July, and they've only just stopped playing football for the season. So you got to credit them. It's almost like you in a normal job you get paid overtime and you get X amount. You might get a little night enhancement if you work in night shifts. 350 grand a week for 30 days worth of work is good going for some of these players, and they deserve it, to be fair. So whoever that is down there, they're right. Yeah, they definitely do deserve it. Um, that's good news. That is really good news. I mean, just look at the trophy, man. It's just yeah, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. Club World Cup champions for 4 years. Todd Bowley's come back out. I think he done a bit of a presser today. Bit from Todd on there saying that we couldn't have wished for a better outcome for our boys who've done such good work and trained so hard. We really came together under Enzo's leadership and direction. No one gave us a chance to beat PSG's 100% right. Even me, I said we were going to lose. The boys thrived and grew on that. Watching them come together has been very special. From that, they've seen everything we hoped when we were putting together this team, with putting this together with Lawrence and Paul. Bedad and I couldn't be more grateful for their success. I wonder if this is on. Oh, it's on Talksport. Did he do a thing on Talksport? They've had all of the Chelsea fans everywhere. We're so thrilled. Credit to Todd. Actually, I'm going to credit Todd because Todd is not my favorite cup of tea. He's really not. Um, he's really not. But he's not at all. I think he's just a wheeler and dealer. But when it comes to Chelsea, if we're winning, no one cares about the wheeling and dealing. Let's be honest. If we win trophies and we sign the right players like a João Pedro who looks amazing, no one cares about if you're selling the hotel to your mum's nan. No one cares. We don't care. We want to see good results at the club. We want to see Chelsea back to winning ways. And if that does mean you sell your club, yeah, we're gonna get on to Mr. Oval Office. Um, Yeah, apparently we got a replica trophy. Trump has to keep the real one in the Oval Office. Yeah, he said that. He said that before. He said that the FIFA president basically brought it to his office, and he rang him and said, when are you collecting the trophy?" And they said, "No, you can keep that one. We've made another one." So actually, we've got the dud. We've got the fake Club World Cup trophy. The original one that Theo saw, many other Chelsea fans saw at Stamford Bridge, is actually one that's sat in Washington DC right now. Um, yeah, we got the fake trophy, but nonetheless, we are the only team in the world ever to still be called the Club World Cup champions, because I think they've called it the Intercontinental Champions or something now if you've won it previously. So we're the only team to ever win the Club World Cup. Let's have it right. And also the badge. We got to talk about the badge. Let me try and find a badge for you guys actually, because the badge is, if only they kept the original badge and we could have had that for 4 years. Um, I wanted to find a piece about Nicholas Jackson. Oh, here's the badge. The badge. I don't know. I need to know what you guys think. Let me find the badge. Which is not badging. That badge is awful. That badge is awful. I wonder if I can zoom in on that. That badge is horrendous. It almost feels like you've got the top from DH Gate, and yeah, you've washed it in the machine and the badge has shrunk, it's hanging off, and a bit like my top, that's actually a real top. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. Um, but I'll be honest, I did see one earlier where it said Qatar Airways as a sponsor on there with that badge, and it actually looked amazing. So, but yeah, we need to talk about this, man. This is what we came to see. I mean, just look at that. It's what we came to see. Big Trev. I mean, look at that. The funny thing about this whole tournament was the, the funniest thing, if I'm being honest, was actually Donald Trump. It was actually Donald Trump. I was like, first of all, I didn't understand why he was there because I was thinking, I can't imagine, like, this is the guy that was calling it soccer and all the rest of it. And I know that's what the Americans call it, but I just didn't understand why. Yeah, obviously, he's the president of the United States, all the rest of it. I get it. But even for the players to be shocked, the players were shocked, like, what are you doing here? Like, what are you doing? Um, and then even lifting the trophy, you think this is our moment. You know, we've won it. With Chelsea, we want to lift the trophy. Reece James is looking at Donald Trump. Donald Trump's looking at Reece James. Cole Palmer's asking, "What the hell are you doing on the stage with us?" It was just a funny moment. And the annoying thing is, well, the good thing is, Samsung users and iPhone users, You know how to do the old photo magic, remove people from the picture. I think there's going to be a lot of photoshopping out of Donald Trump because he's right. He's front and center. He's literally right in everything. Um, Ruin the pictures, but the Club World Cup final, we got to talk about that because I think no one gave us a chance. No one gave us a chance. I didn't give us a chance. I generally didn't think we were going to even turn up remotely as much as we did in that final. And it was just mental to see. It was mental to see a team that had just literally bopped like Real Madrid off the pitch. Literally, they literally removed them off the pitch, and then to see them do that, and then to see the way that we played against them. This is why I don't think I could have that fatigue excuse as a reason why they didn't do well because we played them. We played them the same team, literally the same team. Um, Trying to get the lineup for you guys. Here we go. That's the finals lineup. That is the lineup that we went with. That's the final that we went with. Look at PSG's team. This is the team that was embarrassing Real Madrid only days before. So again, I don't want to hear the excuse that they played a day later than us. I don't want to hear the fact that, you know, this is their main team. This is not the B team of PSG. This has Hakimi. This has Mendes. It has Vitinha. It has Kvaratskhelia. It has Dembele. It has Doué. It has Donnarumma in goal. It has the core spine of their team. We were playing with a makeshift Caicedo that was clearly injured. We were playing with a player that was injured. So, I don't want to hear that he was anything else. Um, I mean, the goals. I don't know where to start with the Cole Palmer goals. I mean, if there's a moment where you need to see a player just turn up and silence critics, that was the game, and that was the moment. And to pick up the tournament, the singular trophy of the player of the tournament, um, yeah, just yeah, and Sanchez picking up his award as well. I think Desiree Doué got another award on the night as well. But the two goals from Palmer, it just shows you the quality that he has. Like it's absolutely just he's like effortless. Like the quality that he has, he just I think it was Marquinhos. He just sat him down. Like it's effortless. The two little shimmies before he makes the shot right into the corner. Donnarumma's not saving the first one, and the second one was just carbon copy. It was almost a copy and paste moment. You just copy and paste it, bottom corner. I generally couldn't believe it. But even at 2-0, even at 2-0, bearing in mind PSG weren't really threatening, they didn't really do much. Whatever they did do, Sanchez was superb, probably his best game in a Chelsea shirt. But that third goal, I don't know what was even better, the celebration or the goal. I mean, and the pass through it was just everything. Everything about that performance. If we can play like that in the Premier League, we'll make it. We'll get top four. There'll be no concerns about getting top four. There'll be no concerns about us struggling against some of the weaker teams. Yes, I think we still need to unlock defenses when it comes to low blocks because PSG, to be honest to them, weren't sitting back. They were allowing us to play the football, yes, but they were still having more passes, more of the ball. They had more possession of the ball. Um, their front three just didn't really get time on the ball. If you think back to the game, Cucurella was on top of Doué straight away. Kvaratskhelia, I think, got subbed off, 58 minutes in. Um, didn't do much, wasn't effective. I thought Gusto, we again criticized him so much, but he turned up. When it matters, he turns up. He done what he needed to do. Um, Look, I mean, you can see it right there. Reece James, Enzo Fernandez both came off injured at that point in the game. Enzo first, then we had Reece James. A lot of criticism I could see at the end of the game for Pedro Neto, but you have to remember we wouldn't even be in that final if it wasn't for Pedro Neto. The fact that he's been our player of the tournament, forget the final, but just in terms of the whole tournament, Pedro Neto has been the guy. He's been the guy. He's been the absolute warrior through the whole thing. Having to deal with things off the field as well. That's been really difficult for him in his own personal way of dealing with it. But to then turn up throughout this tournament, still put in a shift that he did. Enzo, again, people were saying that he had to come off injured. He didn't really affect the game. I thought he did. I thought he played well. Some of the key passing that he was doing in that midfield. Standouts for me, though, has to be Cole Palmer, Sanchez. We have to give a shout out to Malo Gusto, uh, João Pedro. I think we've got a striker in João Pedro. I think we may have. I'm not going to say we've succumbed against the number 9 curse. I don't think we've resolved that, but I definitely think him and Liam Delap are the two for me that we generally need to. Yeah, we just need to keep fresh, keep them rotated, because if we can, I think we're going to be unstoppable. I'm saying it quietly. I don't want to say it too loud in case we jinx everything. But there's a little bit of news that I want to talk about. Actually, I read this earlier today, and I was thinking to myself, if this happens, I'm trying to find a reliable source. Well, this is what they're saying about a particular player that I think is actually in trouble right now. Manchester United are monitoring Nico Jackson. That's coming from the Times at the moment. They're obviously in a lot of. The only thing I don't think that why I don't think it still happens is because I think the Mbumo deal, if it's not done, will be done. I think it's done. I think from what I'm hearing, they're arguing about 2 million. Brentford said 60 million, then they said 65. United want to pay 63. They want 50 up front, 10 or 12 million add-ons to add on to that. I can't see this happening. I can't see it happening. If it happens though, if it does happen, I would gladly drive down to London to get Nicholas Jackson, and I will chauffeur drive him all the way back up to the M6 to Manchester. I'll do it. I don't care. I do not care. It'd be sad to see him go because I think he's actually, when you think about it, and I know I've been the one person that can't really say this too loud because I've been the one that's been very critical of Nicholas Jackson. But when you see what João Pedro does on that pitch, and when you see what Liam Delap seems to be able to offer, and I'm not just talking about goals, I'm talking about the movement on and off the ball, the linking up with the attacking midfielders, the wide areas with the two wingers, it's totally different to Nicholas Jackson. You got to see in the Fluminense game just the mentality of the player that Nicholas Jackson is. The ball is on. You can square this ball to Cole Palmer. The shot really isn't on for you. You shouldn't really be trying to attempt to shoot and beat the goalkeeper at his near post when the angle is just not on for you. This is where good players turn into top players and where players that are just average stay average because your mentality, your decision making on the pitch has to be super quick. And if it isn't, and you don't make the right decision on the pitch, things like the other day when you're playing Fluminense and you've got opportunities to get your assist, I think some strikers forget assists are just as important as goals. And if you talk to a striker, they'll probably disagree with you completely. They'd say that the goals are the most important thing. That's their bread and butter. That's what they're in the team to do. That's their job. But I guarantee you, it helps. It just helps. Only strikers will say that goals are the most important thing. But the assists, if you can get the assists as well as the goals, yeah, trust me, it helps. But if they get him, I think we're fine. I think we're fine. I think I would not be surprised if Chelsea are trying to cash in on Nicholas Jackson. We know that there's talk about Italy moves. I think it was AC Milan last week were interested. Arsenal. still haven't got their striker. I think Gyökeres is going to happen, but they might need another striker. They might need that. They love Chelsea. They love to take our Chelsea wastes. Also, as well, Nonit Madweki. Boy, oh boy, can you imagine? You've been playing in the Club World Cup. I mean, I don't know if he's still like eligible for a medal, but you've been playing in the Club World Cup. You decide to move to Arsenal. Your teammates, your club, get to the final and win it. And there's pictures of you circulating around on the internet of you partying whilst the final's taking place. You must be down in the dumps. You must be down in the dumps. But you could have Nicholas Jackson to help you at Arsenal. You could have Nicholas Jackson. I think if he's going to move anywhere, I think it'd be Arsenal. I don't see him going to United. I don't even think he fits in how United would play with Amarin. I don't think he would add to their team. I think if they want a striker, I think Mbumo is the one that they want. They will get. Mateta looks like he might be heading to Liverpool. There's talk about Isak, but I can't see that happening. So I think Nicholas Jackson's options are limited unless he wants to take a move to Saudi. Unless he gets a move to Saudi, and if I'm being honest, I don't think there's been many talk of Saudi clubs wanting him. So I don't know. Um, oh really? Or is that that can't be true? Oh, that can't be true. Yeah, I mean, it can be true. It's Trump. It wouldn't put it past me that he's got it. Um, yeah, that wouldn't put it past me at all. He's yeah, I wouldn't put. Maybe he has still got the medal, but um, yeah, I think the Club World Cup. Let's talk about that actually. Let's talk about this. Not this particular picture, so to speak, but I'd be surprised if nothing comes of it. I mean, what was what was he thinking? What were they thinking? It's one of the most craziest things I think I've ever seen in a Club World Cup final. Credit to the players. I mean, again, this kind of proves my point a bit about Jackson. He isn't even playing in the game, and he's on the pitch trying to cause WWF Royal Rumbles. Just walk. You've just won the Club World Cup. Just walk off. Just walk off. I know there was other players that were getting involved and whatever else, and obviously Luis Enrique straight to João Pedro to the face and all the rest of it. But you're not even playing in the game. You haven't even got your kit on. Your kit, you've got your training top on. The melee was funny. I'll be honest, it was funny because I think PSG went into that game thinking they were going to smash us. They thought they were going to smash us, and they didn't. And I think because they didn't smash us, they yeah they weren't happy. Um, so he actually did keep the medal. Yeah, that's mental. I mean, it's not mental, but it is mental. Yeah, because I was wondering, like, who does all the players get them? Because I think some players would have gone. Like Achiempong didn't. He didn't kick a ball, did he? I don't think. I don't think he came off for any of the games, if I remember correctly. So I thought, do they get one or don't they? But if he had a spare, that must have been Madweki's because I'm pretty sure even all the coaching staff, like everyone got a medal. Everyone mental, absolutely mental. It's mental. If you're in the live as well, don't forget we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So make sure if you haven't already that you give the page follow. Um, what else is there to talk about in terms of Chelsea? Whilst I think about what we're talking about, let me just do a little shameless plug because I know that we don't really ever talk about it on here, but we should because this page is rocking right now. This is our Instagram page. Theo, the other Theo, does a lot of work on this page. So if you haven't already, smash the subscribe button, like the video, leave some comments. And when you've done that, head over to From the Shed End on Instagram And just yeah, like I said, the mini documentary series is out. As I said, Theo does a lot of work on here. Um, yeah, some quality pictures go up on here, quality videos, all our match day images. So make sure if you haven't already, you head over to Instagram and you do exactly that. You make sure you like it over there because we are. I think what are we on? We're on the road to what on there? We're on the road to 1,000 on YouTube. We're on the road to 20,000. 20,000 followers on Instagram. So make sure if you haven't already, you head over there and you give us a follow. Well and truly appreciated 100%. Um, wait, what? OVO? No way. I need to find that in a second. I'll come back to that in a minute. PSG lost their heads, had their hands. They did lose their heads to be fair, but yeah, they lost their hands. Can't handle defeat and recreate. I think he will. I think he'll be in trouble. I think he'll be in trouble. I think the fact that the cameras caught him, I think it's a massive fine and potential ban. I don't know how they'll do it though, because it's a FIFA ban, so maybe they just do like a worldwide ban. He can't do like the first 3 games of the season or something. But I don't know what I don't understand is what even caused that because we were all I mean, by the time I got to see what was happening, I was celebrating. But yeah, it was mental. It was just it was crazy to see that because I don't know what would I don't know what would even cause that. So I think someone said to me actually Donnarumma started something. And then I think some of the other PSG players got involved and our players got involved. And then it was like Royal Rumble. It really was. Let me try and find out that it's OVO. Just been praising Chelsea and talking about how I'm tempted to get the kits. My gosh. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no. Just when you think things can't get any worse. Drake's OVO brand is teaming up with the reigning FIFA Club World Cup champions Chelsea for a clothing collaboration set to drop tomorrow. Oh my gosh. No, 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 no. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing? Do you know what the thing is? I think I like it. I like it. I like that. That cap's actually okay. I like the cap and I think I like that t-shirt and I'd probably like that jacket there. But yeah, I kind of agree with that comment there. I don't think would this collaboration actually be coming out if we didn't win the Club World Cup? I don't know. Oh man. I'm actually in shock. I didn't even know about this. When did this come out? Today? I didn't even see this. You know what the worst thing is? If you looked at that, you wouldn't even know, bar that t-shirt that's underneath and this cap. And even to be fair, the cap, you wouldn't necessarily know it's Chelsea. That's the thing. Cap is actually half decent. I kinda like the cap a little bit. I don't really like the OVO stuff, it's a bit in your face, and that is a bit, but ah, just when you think things can't get any worse. I've just been praising and saying I might actually get the away kit, I might get the 3rd kit. I'm starting to like some of this stuff again, and then they bring out this. I mean, what's that? What's that? Shocked, shocked. And yeah, and of course, Drake is the biggest, like, culture vulture. He's the one person that will yeah, I wish, but I can't believe this. I was scrolling exactly. I was just about to say I'm scrolling to see if someone's picked up on what I thought originally. This is what I thought. I thought, oh, there's an yeah, let me just show you that. And then I thought about this straight away. Someone's clearly taking the piss. I was just thinking the same thing. Yeah, I think that is definitely not. Yeah. Who allowed it? Yeah, that's crazy. OVO. Oh man, original vultures only. Drake is one of the biggest culture vultures. He'll jump on anything. I guarantee if we didn't win the Club World, there must have been a contract clause in there. If you don't win the Club World Cup, this range is not coming out. We'll just shelve it. We'll file it next to all the other stuff that doesn't come out. There's no way. That's too coincidental that we've won the Club World Cup and this idiot wants to now collaborate with our club. That's the downfall. This is the downfall of our club. I've just praised him about money and making money. So this is the way they want to make money. But OVO, this could come back. I'm not going to say too much on the stream because I don't want to get taken down or whatever. But this partnership could come back to haunt us in the very near but distant future. I'll say no more. That's all I'm going to say before we wrap up. Um, Before we wrap up, actually, I wanted to do this. We haven't done this in a while, and it feels fitting to do it now. It feels fitting to do this now. Right. This might actually be very, very quick. Are we keep selling or loaning these players? Ideally, I think I think we need to have at least 4 goalkeepers. And if we don't sign Mike Maignan, which I don't think we are, then we have to keep all 4 of these goalkeepers. Correa is staying, Tossin is staying. Badiashile needs to go. Colwell has to stay. Mamadou Sarr, another one I forgot about. Mamadou Sarr, I think he gets a loan. I think we need to loan him. I think we need to loan him out. I think he needs a good loan. And not because I don't think he's good enough. Um, I think we need to do everything to keep this guy here. He has to stay at the club. Trevor Chalobah has to stay at Chelsea Football Club. If we sell him, I guarantee you, he's going to go on to leaps and bounds. Under nines, under nines, he's been at the club for. He's now 26 years of age. He's only just hitting his prime. He's only just hitting the prime years of his defensive life. We've got to keep him. We have to keep him at the club. James, I'm actually going to put James, we're keeping him for this season, of course, 100%. But this is the season for Reece James, make or break season for me. If he's not fit 60% of the season, time to go. It's time to go. Because I think Achiempong actually will potentially leave the. I'm hoping on loan, but I think he leaves the club this summer. I think he leaves. Malo Gusto, I think, has to be kept as a backup to either Reece James or hopefully Josh Achiempong, but I think he goes. Fafana, again, another one very much like Reece James. If he's not fit, because he's been a bit vocal on the social media side of things the last couple of days, and I just think there's no need for it. I don't think there's any need to be that. If you're injured, be injured. If you're hearing rumors about yourself that aren't true, don't address them. Just stay off social media. I don't understand why footballers and celebrities have social media if they can't pack the limelight. Just don't. If I was a footballer, I don't think I'd have social media, or if I did, I'd have someone else running it for me. I wouldn't care to see what's on there about me, and he clearly does for him to be responding and deleting his tweets. But Fafana has to make sure that he stays fit this season. If he doesn't, let's get rid of him. And the owners will. They're not going to mess around and watch his value drop any further than it probably has already. So they'll want to cash in and make some money. Aaron Angelomino, hard to tell with him. Hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Do we keep him? Let's put him in a keep bracket for now. I think he's got a role to play. I'm just thinking back. So we've got who's our centre backs? We've got Tosson, Colwell, we've got Trevor Chalobah, Fafana, and Anselmino so far. Then I generally think Josh Ashimpong, I think he's leaving. I don't know why I think that, but I think he's gonna go. I don't think there's a I don't think Maresca will trust him in the Champions League. I can't see him play much Premier League football. Don't think he's gonna hang around to just play in the League Cup and possible FA Cup. So I think he gets a loan to somewhere. Like I started this stream, my worry is that he gets into that loan system and we never see him again. Lewis Hall, um, Alfie Gilchrist, to name a few. There's just you just get lost into that loan system, you never come back. Uh Obviously Enzo stays, Dario Asugo, hard to tell, possible loan, maybe. Um didn't really get used as much as I thought you would in the Club World Cup, so hard to sort of determine what happens to him. I think Andre Santos has to stay, has to be played, has to feature in the Premier League. He should not just be starting in the FA Cup, the League Cup, potential couple of champ. He has to be starting in the Premier League. For me, off the back of the Strasbourg season and the fact that we got to see him in the Club World Cup and he looks comfortable. He looks like he can play a role for us next season. Unfortunately, Keenan Dewsbury Hall, so grateful that you won the Club World Cup, the Conference League. You helped us get the top four finish, but it's time to go back to Leicester. Maybe you can. I think he originally came from Coventry City. I might be wrong, but wherever you came from, that's your place. Go back there, go and enjoy your football. Go and get your regular football back. 90 minutes every Saturday. You'll be fine. Moises Caicedo, I'm not even going to mention him because he's staying. Amari Kellerman is actually linked with a lot of clubs. With a lot of clubs. Another one that I feel that was very much brought in just to balance books out. Um, we helped Aston Villa. We helped another American owner. I don't see a future for him at Chelsea. If I'm honest, I don't. He reminds me of the other Amari Hutchinson. Just brought in. We're gonna try and make some money off you, and that's about it. Um, Lavia's a tricky one. He's obviously gonna stay, but injuries at his age. How old is he now? Injuries at his age, 21. Flipping hell. 21 and he's having those big injuries already. Um, Look, he made his debut a year and a half ago. I don't even know how many games he's played for us, but it can't be that many. It can't be that many. Yeah, I can't remember how many. It's less than 10. It's less than 10. Um, he hasn't played that many games for us, has he? It's a shame because he's a player, but if you can't keep yourself fit, then unfortunately you gotta pack the bags, buddy. You gotta go home. Um, Here we go. Fun fact: Luis Enrique uh never lost a final before playing Chelsea. Yeah, I heard this as well. Yeah, never lost a final before playing. Maybe that's why he decided to start throwing his hands around. He just didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to take the defeat. I think that's what it came down to. Um, yeah, maybe that was it. It was he just couldn't take the defeat. It was Luton. I'm talking about the other Leicester fellow. What's his name? James Maddison. I'm sure he was at Coventry. Again, I might be wrong. It is getting late into the evening, so I might be wrong on that one as well. But um, where was I? What was I doing? Henry Payers, I want to see him. I want to see him stay at the club. I'll be disappointed if he goes because there's been a lot of talk about him. The hype's been building for nearly 2 years. We need to see what he can do. Um, Neto's staying, the lap obviously, Palmer's staying, of course. I can't wait to get rid of him. I can't wait to the day we can come on this page. This sounds really horrible, but he's got to go. He's got to go. Let's get him out of the club. Nicholas Jackson, TBC, but I think he might get sold. If not, I think a loan. I can't see him staying at the club. I actually think the door's open back up for Christopher and Nkunku a little bit. I think the manager, maybe there's been a conversation between player and manager, but it feels like he's had the door opened up slightly ajar for him again now. He's featured a lot in the Club World Cup. You know, he got some good minutes. He scored against Benfica. I think he's got the an opportunity to show what he can do. Whether he's willing to fight for the place is a different conversation, and we got to see what happened with Petrovic, who, according to a lot of sources in the Athletic, said that he wasn't willing to fight for his place as first choice goalkeeper. We saw what his fate was. If Nkuku's not willing to stay and fight for a place in the team, maybe the club will just try and cash in like they did with Petrovic. Of course, João Pedro is staying. Tariq George is another tricky one. It is another tricky one. Um, Look how they've done Modric. They haven't even gave him a new kit. They haven't even allowed him to take a photo or even try and Photoshop a new kit on him. Crazy. Tariq George. Um, man, I want to see Tariq stay, but I think it all hinges on this guy as well. If Nkunku can put himself in a position to start ahead of Tariq George, I think Tariq George gets a loan. I'm going to say it again. When you get into that loan, the loan army, as Theo said, you don't normally come back from it. You just stay on the loan. The journey for loans can be a tiring, cold, lonely one. So let's hope he stays. Mark Gui, I think, will potentially stay if we get rid of Nicholas Jackson and Jamie Gittins. I forgot we even signed them. Which could actually alter a lot of this here for Tariq George, but I don't know. And obviously Mudryk, we know Mudryk is waiting to hear back what's happening with himself. So I don't know. I still think we need a lot of players to cut. Not a lot of players. But I still think we need some players to come in. Yeah, Estevao as well. Got to add him to that list. We have. So that's what worries me. And I think, Phil, I think you called this a couple of weeks ago. You said that maybe the reason we're playing Tariq George in the Conference League and Achiempong wasn't actually to give them minutes. It was to establish them as first team players for potential buyers. So maybe that was actually a really good call because since then they haven't really Achiempong hasn't really featured. And if you remember, Gusto wasn't featured as much, but Achiempong was. Achiempong was getting a nod above Gusto. Now it seems to have swapped over again, and Gusto's getting the nod. Achiempong isn't. So is it a case of that we showcase what they can do in the Conference League and in some of the Premier League games for Tariq George? And I think Achiempong's made his debut now. Is it a case that we've done that and now they're actually just in a position where they want to just be like, right, okay, um, you know, you lot want to just we want you to leave. You're not good enough. It'd be sad. It would be sad because I think they're both quality players. I really do. But as I said, we are going to have the podcast back where we'll be talking a bit more about Club World Cup, talking all things Chelsea as always. So make sure you tune in for that one. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out the mini documentary series we are pulling together. It's every single day, a different player that is aligned to their squad number. So I think today was Florent Luda. Tomorrow, off the top of my head, I think is Iron Robin. I may be wrong. It's 11:45, so I might actually be wrong, but I think it is. We're doing one for every single day till the last day in July. So make sure that you check all of that out. If you haven't done so already, some really good episodes. Yeah, some really good episodes actually from Joe Cole, Ivanovic, We've got Michael Essien, Claude Makalele, Frank Lampard. Some really good ones coming up as well. So make sure you check those out. As I said, head over to the Instagram. The Linktree link is in the description. So hit that Linktree link. Make sure you get us to 20,000 followers on Instagram very soon. We want that before the season starts, so it's not too long. And also, as well, we're on the road to Di Matteo. There you go. I told you I'd get it wrong. Di Matteo. I should know that actually, because I only listened to the Maluda one literally just before I started recording this. But Di Matteo is tomorrow's mini documentary episode, so make sure you tune in for that one. Until then, we'll be back soon. Make sure you subscribe, smash the subscribe button, like this video, and we'll be back soon.